All right, here we go again. Buckle up. The situation in Syria is getting a little stickier day by day. Hoping you were micromanage them, and if you couldn't, of course, you got to get rid of them. I think kind of where we are. Right. You know, for all intents and purposes, Russia could have been psyoping them, or China, or both. You have to be aware of that also. They may have, manipulated the situation, cause issue for us. Right. So yeah, as far as the Borrego Garcia, if you can come to an agreement, just get rid of him. It's just too much baggage, too much trouble. I mean, the Tennessee jury would probably convict, but they'll probably sue and get something. So if he would just drop everything and just move along with his family, I mean, Canada would probably take him. But if he comes back in the United States, right, be prosecuted for re-entry and some other stuff. So it is what it is. It isn't what it isn't. So yeah, the judges just, they were required to appoint. I was making a joke about the coup d'etat. But again, I think if Elena Hava would have made a deal, they would have let her, stay. Even though, I think it would be a win-win situation. Because again, because you do that, then you're up because you were so gracious and made peace, right? But it doesn't always pay to always fight the fight. So the little oil clay lamp painting's going pretty well. The primer is probably the best paint to use for that. Just leave it at that. And then over the primer, I put some clear. I was able to wash the one with just dish soap, and the oil came up out of it. And was able to primer it. And then I'll just, when that's dry tomorrow, I'll hit it with the triple thick clear glaze. Just got to make sure the wick stays up and doesn't lay down on the lamp. It's nice to have a new thermostat. The thing really is responsive, and I think it keeps the temperature in the house more neutral, more steady and neutral instead of up and down. Probably more efficient. So yeah, it's a great idea. I think I came up with it first or somewhere near the first. Rehiring people. I kept saying it for years. But I think, well, I was in the mine with somebody. And apparently they wouldn't have to go to, like, I was trying to drum up business for for Kansas money. Jobs. Right. But yeah, essentially the surrounding state, Utah, Nevada, and I guess there's somewhere else. Maybe Idaho. I don't know. You can't see the other states, but a bus route would make sense, and a BOP bus team would make sense. And again, the BOP might even have a few buses, just to give them for until you figure out what you're going to do. If you buy your own buses or whatever, or maybe even just keep them and keep them up. Not sure. Something's going on in BOP where their buses are available. Maybe they move people. Again, as you're deporting people, see, that's the other thing. As you deport people, because again, the BOP, I forget what the figure was last time Trump was in office. There was an immense number of people in custody that were ordered deported, essentially. They were foreign nationals. So if you cut their sentence at a certain point, you could just cut their sentences. You'd save a lot of money just deporting them, right? Depending on what the sentence is, of course. And then that would free up prison space. You wouldn't have to build any more prisons. Right? Then you can get some of those people and some of those buses. Yeah, there's actually a lot of BOP people out there. I just remembered that, right? Or they're looking for a job, right? They're going to try to relocate them, but right? You could actually maybe do a lateral and pick up a bus crew or two. But they may not let their bus people go. They're very important to the system, but who knows? So LA is just one of the places, but let's say LA. The issue is the housing close in, and if there's an efficient way to move people out to Nevada, Utah, they think they can find more space. And I think Idaho, what was the other state? I guess maybe Montana, I don't know. So if you have well, what it essentially would be like a regular bus route. Right. They just keep moving people out of LA and into these surrounding states. And then, of course, the next move would be either home or their home nation, the nation of origin, should I say, a third nation, or another facility like Louisiana or something, or Alligator Alley or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of Air Force bases and stuff. Nellis Air Force Base probably has a lot of ground. Area, you could put them on Area 51. Arizona's the other state, right? Well, Area 51's like New Mexico, I guess. ICE opens a facility in Area 51 for aliens. And again, on the inside, apparently somebody, doesn't always translate perfect, but somebody on the inside was saying in Arizona, in Utah, and in Nevada, they could probably help out. It might be a private jail or two. I just don't know what it is. Could be a sheriff. Right. They are saying Nellis right now for some reason. See if I can Google that. How big is it, guy? It's pretty hot there, though. That's the problem. I don't know if they might have barracks there. I don't know. When the barracks gets old, they just use it for like National Guard. That's where you need to look. I don't know what the situation is now. I haven't been around those things a long time. But theoretically, there are, what they do is they have old barracks and then they make it National Guard barracks or reserve training barracks. So they're only used certain times out of the year. And of course, if you have a higher priority, they'd figure something else out for that. Right? But of course, you have to put a fence up around. That's all you would need, probably, is a fence. And you know, I don't know what custody level you would put it as, but also, let me see here. Yeah, some of that stuff may have been knocked down. That's what I'm getting at. Used to be the old World War II barracks. I mean, they were great buildings. They kept them up. It's all wood. I think they had inside insulation a little bit. That's something else. Our national, I'll also call it National Guard barracks. See if they're. So that's what you should do. You should put a call out to head Seth and have him have somebody work on getting the list of part-time National Guard barracks. Oh, I see. So they're using them like apartments now? Right. So, but where are the four dorms for him? Okay. Maybe it's just a camp they were talking about then. Sure, there's space there. Let me look it on a map. That's what I got to do. So what I don't even know if they have them anymore. Who knows? Maybe it's, you know, foo-foo in the Army and the Air Force and all these people. Well, the World War II barracks are just one big open dormitory, actually 2 floors usually. Wait, the first floor is open, and the second floor might be rooms. I can't remember. I think they were. Well, actually, when I was in Fort Leonard Wood, when I went back in the Army to go to Korea, I got out for a few months. Just wanted to see, do I really want to be here? Right. And probably should have stayed. Actually, yeah, I would have stayed at the 101st. That would have been great. I didn't want to go to Germany. I mean, I didn't want to go mechanized for nothing. All right. Bunch of lazy drunks. Right. So I ended up mechanized after Korea, because when I went to Korea, we were actually the light brigade up on the Z, or by the Z there. But it turned out to be one of the, probably first ID back then. I don't know about today, but it was one of the best, and it was the best and most fit. Again, the Germany units were intelligent, you know, tactically intelligent, strategically intelligent, all that, but they just, you know, they didn't have the fitness that first ID had. It was run kind of like a light unit. It was You know, it was conventional but unconventional, so it kind of was neat. Oh wait, what is that? There's a Desert Eagle RV park on Nellis. We can take over the RV park. It's a family housing. Something's back here, some open space. Might be something there. I don't know what's there. Where's the, oh, that's probably where the runway is. I have to get the exact. They say there's enough space for a camp, but I don't know. A tent city. Doesn't look like to me, but. And it doesn't always work out. It could be. Maybe this is something. Did they give up land over the years? Because it looks like they did. It could be something from an old thing. Let me look here. Okay, here's the runway. You could actually. I'm joking, but not joking. You could. Maybe that's what they were talking about. Who runs Desert Eagle? Is that a military run thing or what? Desert Eagle RV Park. They'd probably be all whiny if we confiscated it. Yeah, that'd be perfect. But I don't think they'll let us use it. Correct. The Desert Eagle RV Park on Nellis Air Force Base would be perfect. What else we got here? What is that? Is that like solar or what is that? Solar power. Oh, okay. So what's this over here? This open space back here? Is that all like a mountain? Oh, okay, over here. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, they got space over here. Over by the, what's that, the airfield. At least theoretically. 20th Horse Squadron. That'd be kind of noisy, though. Let's see what else we got here. They're saying there's space in Las Vegas somewhere. I don't know, or maybe outside Las Vegas. That's just too hot, probably, to deal with. I guess the same thing. Sheriff Pio dealt with it, I guess. Right. Yeah, there is space by the airfield, but it's probably too loud. Now, what's Nellis Dunes? What is that? Okay, there's space over by Nellis Dunes. Oh, they use that for ATV. Is that private or does the government own it? Regular. There's space over by Nellis Dunes. That's Nellis Air Force Base. Correct. There's definitely space over by Nellis Dunes. But it looks like people use that for off-roading. Maybe you can just get a chunk of it. Right. Oh, there's definitely space over by Nellis Dunes. That's perfect, actually. This area right here. Let me see if I can share this. You might hate Trump, though. Lose some votes because they don't get to go four-wheeling. But I don't think you have to use the whole space. I don't know how big. See if it came up right. Yeah, there it is. Those dunes. There's space out there. Correct. You could just carve a chunk. I don't know how big the area is. You could carve a chunk, I guess. Go back to the map view. I don't know how much, what the, like we go to the map view, I can't tell what the, let me get back to the map view. But, you know, when I'm in the map view, I can't tell what the elevation and stuff is. But Nellis would be close enough to California to do a quick run. A bus run. I guess I just push back on this. So, wait. What am I looking at here? Stone Mountain. Solar. Yeah, that would be the only area. Nellis Dunes. Where's the, see if I can get this into miles. Mile, okay. It's about 1.5 to 2 miles wide. At least 3 or 4 miles long. So if you took a mile by mile area over, I don't know. I don't know if they'll complain. Maybe even a little less. Probably get away with maybe half mile by half mile. Right. You got plenty of space there. They might get mad though. What other military? Is there anything else in the? I think there's a whole bunch. Military base. All right. Oh, there's Creech. Where's Creech? Open them up. Reach is like next to Nellis. U.S. Army Department. Oh yeah, there's all this stuff here. Yeah, you got plenty of real estate in and around Las Vegas. Here. Yeah. Oh yeah. May even let you. Oh, I see. What is that there? That's for sale. We will buy that. Hey, then you have to deal with zoning, right? Let's back over this way. Oh, I can't go over there because it's restricted space. Got that major highway. Away from me, Obi. Yeah, you'd be able to find something on that Veterans Memorial Highway there. But you'd be able to find something on one of those bases. Maybe even two. Well, because of the large population in California, and you know the unfriendly government to California, you'd have to try to find something, maybe Utah or Nevada, and Arizona. Arizona's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other, but not as bad as California. But because you have to move them, the key is to move them out of California so you can free up your space there, which you already know. But but with that money, you could start running bus routes into Nevada, Utah. It's a little bit of a pain, but if you get some BOP bus people, they could probably make it work. Just calling up some sheriff's departments and things, right? And military stuff. So go back to, let's go to no, I try to put 2 camps in Nevada. Right. Naval Air Station, Fallon. You got tons of places. Some National Guard training facility. Oh, great. Yerington, Nevada. What is that? Is it current? Is it, or is it just like? No, it looks like they're training. Yeah, they're training. Oh yeah, you got plenty of stuff in Nevada. I would look at putting at least 2 camps in Nevada. Well, military, U.S. Naval Reservation there. Sierra Army Depot. Wait, that's in California, right? But you got, but this one is it? It's trying to fool me now. A lot of Army National Guard. There's a lot of National Guard stuff. I don't know how big that is. I'm trying to get it open in maps. There it is. All right. What are we looking at here? Try to go to this part. See what we see. Trying to get to a street view. Too much street view around here. Where's the military base? Oh, is that just a? It showed some sort of training, or is that just an armory? I guess it's just an armory. Oh, these are photos of them on training, I guess, or like NTC or something. Right. We could take over the Army. It's next to the municipal airport. But there was a naval reservation. I don't know what that does. There's the U.S. Naval Reservation over here. Oh, that's nice. You got land there. That's Fallon, too. So Naval Air Station Fallon, right? And then there's U.S. Naval Reservation. You got plenty of, you got to make sure they don't have any unexploded ordnances. We don't need no accidents. I see all, yeah, Nevada, Lake Tahoe region and east, bunch of stuff, right? And then Las Vegas has got some stuff. So you can build one down, you can build one up in Tahoe and one down in Las Vegas. And that'll put you in Nevada, which is a little more friendlier territory. Well, it might be too hot. I don't know. It's, right. Now, if you're running AC, though. Marine Mountain Warfare. They got all sorts of stuff around that area. If it's near Lake Tahoe, it can't be horrible, right? Las Vegas can get a little crazy, but again, if you're running AC, I definitely look around Lake Tahoe at the military bases there. They look like they got a chain of bases. You might actually own all the land. I don't know. But that, for a bus route, that makes it easy. It's all the western side of Las Vegas or of Nevada, right? Now it's north, so that may be. Nellis isn't north, but Tahoe is north, but still can't be more than a day's ride, probably even less. And Salt Lake City don't look too bad. Let me go to the military, or actually south, but that's all native land, I think. So let me see military bases, Utah. We got friendly governor there. Maybe I'll talk to him about psychological operations in the LDS church and warn him of the danger. I'll talk to him tonight in his head. Maybe Hashem, God, will make him have dreams of sexualization operations in his church. All right, what is this? Camp Williams State Military Reservation. Hill Air Force Base. And this Utah National Guard. What is that? Just a little armory, I guess. The area looks like they got. He probably might be able to give you some space. Let's see Camp Williams. What's that look like? It's a secure base and safe. Camp Williams BEQ, Camp Williams FOB. Forward operating base. All right, let's get on the map. Let's get on the map here. Do the map recon. Oh yeah, I should be showing you. I forgot about that. I could show you this. Oops, I did it wrong. Back up. All right. There's Camp Williams, military reservation, but I can't see too much there. Let's see if I what this is back here. Latimer Point. It looks like it's pretty small. What's this back here? Do we own this? I'm over by the Jordan River. Swing low, sweet chariot. Is all Camp Williams here. Is it flood or is it safe? got some windmills. What is this? We own this over here. Put it right there. Yeah, I guess that's all. There might be some land at Camp Williams. Near Salt Lake City. I think there was something else down. These little military base. Do they consider the armory a military base, or is that something bigger? Yeah, there's probably space on Camp Williams. I think the governor controls that somewhat. But still probably, I guess it'd be, no, I don't think it's federal. It says state training. That's something small. Utah Military Academy. Maybe take that over. Lehigh, Utah. Military base. What is that? What the hell is that? These are just small things. All right, but we'll go back to Las Vegas. Oh, there's Hill Air Force Base, Utah. Let's see what we got there. Probably it. Now, where is that? Place and everything else. U.S. Air Force. Put it right there next to the runway. I don't know if they have anything. This one looks like it's pretty well taken out. What's this open space? Oh wait, where's that at? That's by Salt Lake Airport. Now Utah's not as good as Nevada. That's Creech. Creech Air Force Base. I think there was something on there. There's something back in here. I can't remember. Let me go to the other thing. I gotta go to this thing. Wait, where am I at now? I thought I was going to be on 95. It's got to be land around here. I mean, look at that stuff. Got to be some flat land somewhere. Oh, wait. Am I on the base? Indian Springs. Looks like the base right there. Maybe not. Get back. All right, so go from here to here. Uh-oh. Making a spaceship. Aliens. Oh, wait. Tons of guns. I actually have to put that, I guess, up there. Yeah, it's got to be space out there somewhere. All right. Which way do I want to go? I think the base is the other way. I don't know why I'm not around the base. Right off of this highway. Up the road some more. It looks like. I'm going the wrong way, maybe. I was on the other side of the highway, I see. Yeah, well, I was going the right way. Right. Spun around. You're on the right side of the road. Woo, woo, woo. I feel that. See, that's a sign that we're going to have wrong way drivers. Yeah, 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 Rafa. Yeah, 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 healed. See, now we're on the right side of the road. See how that worked? I couldn't get over here to save my life. I just getting to it now. I'm sure you find something out here. Maybe Federal Reserve land. We don't know, too. Right. Again, that might have some regulations on it. Who owns all that? That'd be perfect. Right. Oh, wait, what did it say there on that side? Stop the highway, little control. This is like Creech up here, I guess. Now, the question is whether this is Creech. Right. If Creech owns that, then we could use it. Right. This is near Lake Tahoe, I think. Right. Trump has clout in Nevada. It is authorized personnel only. Ah! Oh, I am on the right side of the road. Okay, on the other side. I went back on the other side. See, it's got a lot of flat land there. I mean, the military reservation, the base proper might have additional flat land. Right. We agree. So I'd look heavy in Nevada. That looks like to be the best area. Utah, he might be able to find you something. Doing a map recon. Right. A lot of flat space there. I just don't know what's available and how far it extends outside the fence. Be best inside the fence, but if it's outside the fence, you just build another fence. Right. That fence isn't the best anyway. You'd have to still build a fence. I guess it'd be nice to be on the inside and have the the ravens or whoever they are patrolling. Right. Yeah, so I'd have headsets look in Nevada to see what real estate he can give you for those camps. Because you don't want to put them too far from California or Chicago, that kind of stuff. Are you working in Chicago all that much? Imagine there's a lot of immigrants there. So, Illinois military base. Scott Air Force Base. He decommissioned. What's this decommissioned base? Do we still own it? We can't use the buildings, I imagine, but probably use some space there. It's probably got hookups and stuff that we can bring on. I think. I mean, I don't know. Where's Chanute at? Did we give it to anybody, or do we still own it? I got no idea where we are here. Was that it over there? Is it over there? Yeah, we got some land here in Chanute, in Illinois. Near Champaign, that's cool enough. Especially when you're dealing with, Chicago's how far, it can't be very far, right? A little bit of a ride, but we'll see if we can take over, see if we make this ice base 1 or something for Illinois operations. I don't know, it looks like people might be using it for something, like a museum or something. Them barracks are pretty trashed. How old's that photo? Or office building, whatever it is. That's some flat land. Right, they got land there. Actually, I can ask AI, right? Does the U.S. government still own Chanute AFB or something like that? No longer owns. Oh, darn it. It says closure, part of a base realignment. Oh, local community, darn it. That was perfect. It's a public. Curses filed again. All right, we gotta go deeper. Scott Air Force Base gotta have something. All you need is flat land. Now, these are the locations you need to do it because you have big centers of illegal immigration activity. Open the maps. This is what I do all my life. You're supposed to pay me for this. Instead of those slutty whores that infiltrate churches. Okay, there's a lot here, I can say. Let's go down here, Scott Air Force Base. Meow, meow, meow. My private satellite. I don't know. Doesn't look like a lot there. Yeah, they got a lot of Chinese farms around this one. There's a Chinese farm. Oh, it's next to the airport, too. Illinois Air National Guard. There's probably some space there, but I don't know. It's probably close into the. See this stuff here. What is this? Do we own this? Do we rent it out? It looks like farms, but because here's Illinois Army National Guard, Scott Heritage Park. We gave away a lot of land, I bet. Right. We put it right there. Or is that the golf course? Too close to the airfield, actually. Right. We don't want them to try to escape and get sucked up into an engine. Oh, they had one floating around. I don't know if it was AI or real, but apparently, I think it was real. This one guy, he's obviously got, he's losing it, and probably dehydrated or something. And he's running around. They're trying to grab him on the airfield. And he goes around the back of the airplane and gets on the other side. The engine's on. It sucks him up in there and spits him out. I don't know. It may have decapitated him. I wasn't sure. All right, so I don't know. It's just looks like fields. Let's pop down over here, maybe if I can get that. I can't get nothing. What's this? They own that? Pretty wooded, but oh, I see. It's airport. On a military base, you just got to get your minimum space. You don't have to worry about the other stuff. Ah. What the hell is this thing doing? It's on the road. There it is. These are all farms. Bunch of Chinese people. You can already see the protesters. But nah, it looks like it's pretty tight there. They gave away all that land, and then they sold it to the Chinese instead of it like back in the day we had a buffer zone. All right, there's some stuff there. I guess the reserve training center. As long if it's a secure perimeter, or you can make it a secure perimeter, then you don't have to worry about too much space. You just got to get enough space. Now it looks like it's something small. All right. We got here. Was it just a small little nothing? Military outpost. Oh, is this in? Is that in? In Chicago or something. What we got here? Station Great Lakes. Just a building. Get this open to ground level. I'm in some freaking walking trail. Lake Bluff, Illinois. Oh, somebody got some money. Somebody got some money. See, now there's Marine Corps Mountain Warfare. Actually, that's over. Right, that's in California. I don't know. I guess we could take that over. I mean, they can't say no. How much do they own? All we need is some flat land. Oh, 29 pumps. Yeah, we could. Oh, we can build it in 21. They can't stop us from building it 29 palms. I guess that may even be better. It gets pretty nasty over there, but I'm not sure. You know, I guess if you build it right. But NTC and all that, I forgot about that. That's in California that we own. Right. But again, National Guard may be a little bit more difficult. But I don't know what you want to do. Again, you could bring some BOP and former Federal Bureau of Prisons, and they can run these detention facilities. Right. Just gotta like turn them down a little bit. But usually if they have a lot of years and they retire, they're not, you know, they know how, they work smart. You know, they're not usually the type that are trying to muscle anybody. Especially like you tell them it's gonna be detainees versus the, you know, the thugs. They'll be, I mean, there's a lot of thugs, but they probably know some of them already. Yeah, so you're pretty good out in California and Nevada, but California is going to have your most space. Your NTC, National Training Center, 29 Palms, right, and all that. You can build what you want to do is you made one big camp there. You don't have to build it like Alligator Alley, right? Because you may still run into trouble with judges there. Because depending on how much rec you give them, like if you just lock them down at night and let them out in the morning, which you're not doing, the judges will probably have a problem with it, depending on how long they stay there, right? So what you want to do is like I was saying, when you build them, you want to build smaller areas. You can leave them like Sheriff Arpaio did, but you have to, you can't put a whole bunch of people in each one of those tents. Like, right, you can fence little fenced off area, like larger fenced off areas, including outdoor rec. Right. But I don't know what number you're looking at when you do that. Like each tent, every like larger tent could be an area. Right, you may not even want to have to use a tent that big. Right, you can do like Arpaio did, smaller tents. So you have like a quad for them to go out and wreck on, and the judges won't be as tight with you, right? Because they're gonna. That's what they're gonna look at, is how much time these people have outside those cells, right? So I forgot what. So, but you know, it's good to look into Utah and Nevada. Well, you won't have to deport as fast. It won't be such a burden, right? So you can build, you know, a couple different facilities in California around the training centers. I think one's run by the Army, one's run by the Marines. Right. So you have two there. Yeah, call headset in the morning. Then you have all you need is flat space, and if it's behind the military reservation, if it's secure, I don't know if these are all that secure, but it's a lot easier. But you can get space out there. When you're looking at the training centers in California, yeah, they're huge, so you can find space. So that's the easiest place to start. Well, you need for San Diego and Los Angeles, that whole region, Orange County, all that. You need a overflow, nearby overflow. You just run buses, and they're close enough where the bus runs easy. You can find Federal Bureau of Prison retired lieutenants and senior officers, and tell them if you tell them they can keep their retirement and work there, they'll be there, no problem, and they'll run it right. Some of those people just, almost stayed on the road their whole career at the end, or somewhere in their career. Right. They just keep running them buses. And then you can put your immigration judges out there. They can see all the judges out there. Right now, I don't know what the closest federal courthouse is, because you're going to need to use one of those every so often. You got these training facilities over here, and then you got that Naval Air Station, Fallon. I don't know, and Naval Aviation Warfare and U.S. Naval Reservation. So I don't know if you'll be able to put something over there too. All the national training centers in California, you can get land, no problem. That's like nothing compared to what they have available, right? So that'll give you your overflow facilities for Los Angeles and San Diego, and a little bit in San Francisco. I guess, yeah, San Francisco actually has a big population that you're looking at, because that's also Asian. Right. Yeah, that's your best bet. Go to the national training centers first in California. You can get them up in no time at all, and then go over in Las Vegas and look at these various places in Las Vegas. Like Las Vegas, or Nevada, should I say. That's definitely less than a day's ride. And we can even do it here. Port Irwin, that's it. Yeah, you open one up there. Actually, I didn't want to get into that far. I wanted to find on maps. They own all that land out there. So, what do we do here? Unless you wanted to put them down by the border, there would be no reason not to build something out there. But unless you wanted to, with the bus route, you go down to Arizona and Texas by the border and build a bunch of stuff. I mean, you still got space, I'm sure, on what is that place called? Fort Bliss or something. Right, you got places on Fort Bliss. I don't know how many, that might be a one-day ride. I'd have to look. Yeah, it's El Paso. It's probably one-day ride. Well, here, this is, let's do, we're going to do directions. Yeah, you got tons of space out there. You build it out there, no problem. So go to National Training Center first, because I'm sure it's close by. Also, I'll put Los Angeles. Los Angeles City Hall. Oh, it's nothing. It's 2 hours and 57 minutes. That's perfect. Port Irwin. You can build like 5 camps up there. I would actually start on that as soon as possible. Agreed. Yeah, water's a little bit scary, but you can make it work. So you're talking about a 2-hour ride. That's perfect. Or 3-hour ride, maybe 3.5. And then with the hookup and take it off with a 3-piece, you're talking maybe 4 hours. 5 hours at the most. Right. Yeah, no bet. You don't have to worry about bathroom breaks or nothing. Right. Bam. And then they return to Los Angeles. Or they could take them out of there over in Nevada, or let's see from let me see here. Los Angeles City Hall to Fort Bliss, or whatever they call it. I don't remember what they call it. That's 12 hours. You could do it in a day, but that's a lot. Right. You could do it to what's that place? Where's that place? That FCI. Spend the night at that FCI. Actually, you could spend the night at. Who has some? What's that place? That place where you do your training? How big is that? Border Patrol training. You take over a section of the Border Patrol base there, if it's big enough. Wait a minute. New Mexico. I gotta put New Mexico. Right. All right. Artesia. How big is an Artesia? Build a camp on Artesia. Other people use it too, so put your money where your mouth is. There's like, do you have a back 40? I've never been to Artesia. Right. Near Albuquerque. Actually, that was real near where I live. Right. I didn't know it was that. I thought it was in southern New Mexico. That's the flat. Oh no, this is it. Yeah, it is in southern Mexico. There it is. Federal Law Enforcement West RT. So it's Fletsy West. Do you have any spare land? I mean, I don't know how big this is. Now let's go down. Let's go take let's go down into Fletsy here. Fletsy West. How much land you got, Fletsy West? Give it up. Is that it there? Ah, I can't even see it on here. Ah, it's flat land. Yeah, Fletsy West can give up something. I don't know if that's it, but gotta be something around Fletsy West. Right. There's gotta be some federal land around there we can use. Right. If they escape, then we get everybody out of class. We gotta look for somebody. 5 escaped for the camp. from Fletcher Camp. So, yeah, what I was going to do is, so theoretically, see, I don't know what kind of buildings you have out there. Theoretically, you could take them from California to Artesia, if you have space, and then to El Paso. Right, that'd be about a nice 1 day each way, I think. So, I don't know how much land you have. And there's the airport. Like, you may own actually some of this land out here. Right? I don't know if we own the land out there. Might even own some of the land outside the gate at the front and all that. I don't know. Right. But that'd be a great place for a transit point. Actually, let me make sure. See directions. Where are the directions at? So is there two campuses or something? A whole bunch of buildings and stuff. A whole bunch of land out there. So what I wanted to see is how far to California. Los Angeles City Hall is how far? Oh, wait a minute. That's not going to work. It's almost all the way to El Paso, I guess. Right. This actually takes longer to go there than it does to Fort Bliss. That's not going to work. Right. How come Fort Bliss was 12 hours? There's Roswell. You can put it Roswell. All right, so let me see. Let me put Fort Bliss back in here. I was looking for a waypoint between Fort Bliss and LA. That's 12 hours. I mean, you could do it one day, but, you know, bathroom breaks and all that. All right. So you want to try to, you know, you can't put it on the Tohono O'odham Nation Reservation. They would be very angry. They're the ones that won't let you build the wall, I think. So, there's an Air Force base somewhere here. Right. Right. See, an Air Force base, you don't even have to build a camp. You just need a place where you can house them overnight. Who knows? You may come up with. Actually, you probably need a camp. Because it's going to get crazy, probably. Because, you know, everybody's like getting radicalized, right? Unless it calms down. All right, so AFB, Nevada. Or not Nevada, what am I saying about New Mexico? Well, because if you work them down towards the border, it's just easier to do the next part. Holloman. Oh, that's way over there too, isn't it? 12 hours. But how is that? It takes longer to get to the Air Force base. I guess because it's slow to get in that little area, right? Doesn't make sense to me. I guess because they have to get on little roads. Right. Ew. Makes no sense. Right, so when you got to rear off the highway. Right. Fort Bliss is still the only spot. There's something else, I'm sure, in Arizona or something. Oh, I see. Because I didn't realize. I didn't realize El Paso was that far in, or Fort Bliss was that far in. Right. Because you actually have to go east of it. Right. So we need to. Gotta be something in Phoenix or around Phoenix that you can use. You can use Sheriff Propio's backyard. Sheriff Propio opened up a couple of tents in his backyard for the bus. All right, so AFB. I think there's another. There might be. The idea is to get it in Arizona. Right. There it is. Can we put it? Luke's pretty big, isn't it? It's 5 hours, and that would be 6 hours or something to the remainder. That would work better. Right. Let's see what we got here. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I got some land. Yeah, Luke. I'm sure Luke. Base has land. A lot of flat land there. Okay, wait, look. What? It's all Chinese. Oh, there, Saravel Farms. That's Chinese. They probably own the Falcon Dooms Golf Course. I'd say that's on the base, right? It's got to be some flat. There's some flat land. Actually, no, there's no flat land. They gave up all the land around it. Look at this. Who owns this? What is this? What's this here? Do we own any of the land? I sold it to everybody. Somebody took a kickback and a bribe. Now we don't own anything. Well, at that facility, all we need is a secure place to put them. You might be able to secure a small unused hangar or something, right? And call in contract people. When you're, or they could actually run. I guess they could stay there. It depends on how you run that route. How often you run the route. Well, the idea is get them out of California to see the immigration judge. They don't need to see, I think you're doing it reverse generally before the operation. Right. Well, I mean, it's a lot of the cases are open and shut. I mean, obviously they were allowing people to. Oh wait. Oh my God, we don't know any of this. Sold it to their buddies for kickbacks. Now the Chinese, then they sold it to the Chinese. Probably so. Actually, that's a Goodyear airport. Where's the Luke? This thing's all screwed up now. Google's hacking us. They're anti-immigration raids. Yeah, we got to find out who owns Saraval Farms over here. Saraval. Could be the Chinese secret police. Yeah, but something in around Arizona or around Phoenix would work great for a way station to Fort Bliss. And you might have some private jails there. Lemoore, law enforcement more. Near Fresno. My city. Motel 6 Lemoore. All right, we'll figure it out one day. Why is this green? I mean, blue. Gotta get Hegseth working on it. We need overflow from LA. And then we need a way station to Fort Bliss. Or we can take a bus too and have them spend overnight at a minimum. You might have some private space, I don't know. I guess you'd probably full up in Phoenix, right? So you do need some overflow facility there. So you're gonna have to build a camp somewhere, a tent city or something, I imagine, around Phoenix. That gets pretty hot though. I don't know. Might actually have to go with some real buildings. Is there any old jails there or anything that aren't being used? Or you can get a piece of, like some space. Probably everything you're already doing that. We need a camp, but I guess it's kind of hot there in Arizona. Well, if you can get bus routes going, right? So they're saying they can run a bus route. The bus route, what I'm seeing is if the bus route that goes to, let's say, Phoenix, those people can return to California that night if they can put them somewhere, and then you have a bus route that runs from Fort Bliss to Phoenix. They pick them up in the morning. Oh, so they'll travel the night before and stay the night, and then pick them up in the morning, and then go to Fort Bliss. So you can run two. That way, you'd have them an easy way to get them to Fort Bliss, and you're in Central America, right? You're at the crossing over, and they you just drive the bus across here. Your president said she wanted them back here. And then, of course, you got Honduras and all that, too. Right? Right, so you could do that probably. You could actually have the Fort Bliss people repatriate in a bus. Right? And then you won't have so much planes to worry about, right? And all the costs of that. Right. Just have regularly scheduled, but you have to build all those facilities and the way stations, all the camps and the way stations, so they can stop and then stay the night and then. Like. Thank you, Larry. Wow, what am I, an hour and a half almost? Wasn't planning to walk like this. We got it. All right. So what you got to focus on is places like Chicago that's going to get jammed up, and what happened here? Did I lose it? Am I still online? Yeah, there's. So places like Chicago and California, Los Angeles, you have to have overflow facilities built. But again, moving, like for California, the smart move is to get them closer to Central America. Right. But really, the national training centers, you could build way bigger places than Alligator Alley, right? It's just kind of a pain to run, but I think there's probably better facility, like better water hookup and probably more electricity hookup and stuff out there, right? Than what you're looking at in that small little airfield, right? Probably a better airfield. So when you get to the training centers in California, you can build probably 2 alligator alleys at NTC without a worry. It just gets a little hot there. Right. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, and then you have to look at the run from there to a way station like Phoenix. I think that could be done in a day. Right. Yeah, you can drive them in a bus down to Guatemala outdoors. That'd be too dangerous. Mexico says they could do that. Just pay them. Again, the idea is the reverse of what I was saying before. Again, anytime you get jammed up, you have to build your next facility to transport to, or you find your next facility to transport to, and then move them and keep moving them. Right. The immigration judges are what the issue is, but that's me on the treadmill. That's me coming to Earth and then going back home. That's Hashem in 2004. That's me and Hashem there. That's the ark of my covenant with Hashem. Thanks. Thank you, Larry. Right, New York, Chicago, LA, New Jersey. Gotta build space. There'd be less complaints if you built like an FCI Fort Dix, but you know, you gotta, what I would do, I would actually not leave that big open compound. I would put fencing around each one of the buildings and give them a quad area, right? 100%. Or maybe 2 buildings at the most. That was a hairy place to work. There are no locks on the doors. 300, over 300 inmates per building. You're there alone, and you gotta like say, "No, go back in the building. You're not. No chicken night. I don't care. Go back in." And you're like one guy, and then I look, and the lieutenant's hiding around the corner of the building, peeking at me instead of coming over and helping me. I didn't have a unit all that much. All right. I was out on the comp because I wasn't lazy. I kept moving through the compound, searching things, searching buildings. Right. They promised me all sorts of stuff, not to go to the Marshal Service. Right. But I had a family. I needed to, move up to something else. Right. And they probably want to make me a lieutenant. If they could, they'd have made me a lieutenant so I wouldn't leave. Right. All right. Stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.